Well, I'm District Leader Dion Powell of the 78th Assembly District here in the Bronx, New York, also the Bronx Conservative Party. I'm running for the 33rd State Senate District, Riverdale, Fordham, Rochelle Parkway, Kingsbridge, Bedford Park Boulevard, Belmont, Arthur Avenue, Little Italy, and beyond. The issues that are in our community are the following. One thing I want to do on my platform that I've said is controversial, I want to change the New York State tax code to tax major nonprofits that make over a certain level of revenue that come to help our community with the poverty industry. Number two, like I told one of my constituents here, I want to make sure that all major nonprofits are unionized. I had somebody I used to work with at a men's shelter. She did social services for 20 years, and she was instantaneously fired without notice or cause, and that's it. All major nonprofits need to be unionized because nonprofits break the labor industry. The reason I left the Democratic Party last year is because they announced the closures of 7 Catholic schools in our borough of the Bronx. One of them is my alma mater, St. Angela. So as school choice, I want to push the agenda and change legislation similar to Iowa and Arizona, where the money is assigned per child, per parent, to go to public school, private school, parochial school, trade school, magnet school, and even homeschool. So those are my 2 points here when it comes to my agenda, my platform. Dion Powell again. Amy?
All right, so what are you seeing that's different in this election year than in past years? Because we have some of the same, we've seen some of the same people both on the national scene and locally, right? I was just talking with Tina Forty. She's run against AOC before. We had Kamala Harris in office as vice president. Also, Trump has been in office. What's different in Bronx? What are you saying different among Bronx voters and the issues that they're focused on? Given that we have these people running that we have some experience seeing in the past.
Okay, well, local issues are affecting the national. For example, we have a migrant crisis. A lot of people in the Bronx, black or otherwise, are seeing migrants fast-track through the shelter system and social services for apartments, getting debit cards for funding and beyond. And that's a big problem that's affecting the vote turnout towards President Donald Trump in this form election. Number 2, a lot of people in the community are seeing money spent overseas to the Ukraine, to Israel. I'm like, wait a minute, this funding should be here for our population, our residents, our citizens, our veterans, and beyond. So those are like the 2 major issues. Quality of life is one of them, in which crime, they allegedly up and down, whatever the case may be with the numbers, but quality of life is horrible. Our public services, which are transportation, public housing, and public schools, are failing, but they have so much money dumped into it. Why are public schools getting more money with low enrollment? Low enrollment is across the board. Nationwide, enrollment for public schools is low. Why do they need more money? They're playing the usual game with NYCha, our public housing, with the money, as well as public transportation. A one-way swipe on an MTA bus or train is nearly $3. The service is getting worse and worse and worse. Trains are becoming beds for the homeless population and mentally ill. So why are we paying more money? A lot of people in the Bronx especially, we're all fare beaters. I'm a criminal. I'll walk in the door on a train, I'll walk in the back of the bus because we just refuse to pay at this point for poor quality of service and not getting the income we need.
All right, so undecided voters, there's very little time left to vote. Of course, we're right ahead of Election Day itself. What do you have to say to undecided voters? What is the case that you make to them?
Oh, I'm glad this question. I get this question a lot. I don't guilt and shame people for not voting, because in a democracy, we have right to abstain. But all I ask is you flip over the ballot, leave the first page blank of candidates. You don't want to get involved, fine. But just vote for the reason to vote no straight down on all the proposals, especially Proposal 1, which affects the amendment of the New York State Constitution. Now, in terms of voting, you can vote or not. In the sense that I always say Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote, and their life is okay. So don't get this anxiety, vote. If they took voting serious, they would have automatic voter registration, like the select services at 18, but it's all one big gimmick. So you have a right not to vote. But if you do, because you're compelled to, then don't vote for the name brand. Lesser two evils, who wants that? But just flip it over and vote no straight down the proposals.
Why is that? Why is Prop 1 such a big issue? Everyone is talking about that one. Why is that such a big issue for Republicans, conservatives, and people who are voting for Trump?
Well, the Equal Rights Amendment, as it's called, is always a misnomer. The language is very technical. So far, the word abortion is not in it, but they always talk about reproductive rights to make you feel good. The thing is, they're trying to get ageist discrimination. So our argument is that they might be able to allow children to make adult decisions in a safe space in a school, like gender affirming care, and also take vaccines and other medical procedures without their parents' knowledge. And if their parents find out, the parents won't have any kind of legal recourse against the school because of the amendment. The argument for protectkidsny.com, protectnykids.com, AY, is that they don't want biological boys who are born with the XY chromosome to play in sports with XX chromosome girls. Reason being, there's a lot of problems and it's unequal, but also these individuals take a lot of scholarship money and opportunities away from these girls that work so hard. So those are the top two issues, as well as citizenship status. A lot of people feel as though, rightfully so, that most of these migrants might be automatically be able to vote and also get a lot of other rights on par with citizens, as well as people who are trying to come in the country legally who can't get such amenities.
All right. Thank you, Dion.
You're welcome, man. That's why I want me to talk to you, because I'm knowledgeable on that.
That's right.